You're listening to the Deranged Nation, a true crime podcast featuring New York Times best-selling paranormal romance author and your host, Teresa Gableman.
Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Welcome back.
What's cracking?
So we've been gone for a while. We're what? This is episode 12.
Episode 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably be on like 19.
I know.
Things just went.
It's been that long.
I know.
It feels longer.
It does actually.
Yeah, we got some new equipment, so we should be sounding cool.
I don't know about cool.
Sounding better.
Yeah.
So we're not huddled around one mic sharing it now. We
Yeah.
upgraded.
True.
Yeah, next week, if we ever get some internet.
Yeah.
If we ever get some freaking internet, we might do some lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully.
Some camera work.
Hopefully that'll be soon.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, our internet. It's like dial up.
It's
The
worse
old-
than dial-up. I
it
thought
is.
Dial-up was better than what
I
we
think
had.
it was actually. Yeah. So I hope everybody, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
So things in Ohio here, they're starting to open up a little bit.
Free us in Ohio.
Free us.
So I hope you guys stayed healthy, and so far we've been lucky. Now there's a big meat shortage. We got toilet paper, so
Plenty
that's
of it.
over. But now we got a meat shortage.
So they say.
So
Let's
they
see
say.
what happens.
We got lucky last
Yeah.
time we went to the store.
Yeah. I
But
think we went
it was
just
pretty
in
empty.
time early enough
Yeah.
because it was getting close.
So what are you most excited about opening up?
Ooh.
I know what mine is.
Probably the casino.
Hell, yeah.
Yeah.
I am ready to push
Not gonna
some
lie.
buttons. Yeah.
It has been a long time. And Mexican. Some
Yeah.
Mexican restaurants.
But on the 15th, they do have a little dine out area.
Shout out to who is it that we go to? What's the name of their store?
Yeah. Oh, great.
Los Cazadores
Yeah.
Man.
in Beachmont.
Yeah.
Delicious.
And I never really did Mexican food that
Yeah.
much until we went there, and now I'm like,
These guys are awesome.
Authentic.
They're awesome.
and they're cool. They're cool dudes.
Keep them open.
Yeah, they'll be open.
So yeah, we can go there and dine out. They had 3 tables.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I was thinking
Yeah.
of. It's going to be really hard
Yeah.
to even eat out anywhere because people are going to be in line for so long.
And if they have to split their people coming in, I mean, that's going to cut down on their income.
Yeah,
Well, they
and the
said-
waitresses too are going to suffer.
No, they said in Ohio they are not doing the
Separated seating.
No, they're doing that, but you know how some of them are only doing 50% or 25%?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, no, they're not going to do that in Ohio. They're just going to make it safe. That's what DeWine said.
Oh,
So,
here we go.
But as long as they can do the 6 whatever apart and all that stuff, that they're...
6 feet.
Yeah.
I hope they don't expect
It still means to have to.
It's like every other table.
waitresses to wear masks.
Well, they're talking about
How are you going to...
Let me pull my mask.
Absolutely
Pull my
not.
mask up. I get a bite of.
You'd be covered in sweat by the time you reached your third table
Everybody
from the
has
kitchen.
food on their mask and stuff. Yeah, that would be kind of odd. I don't know.
The
We'll
whole
see.
mask thing don't make no sense to me because you see people wearing masks. And they
It's
don't
to
even
protect
have it-
people.
They don't even have it pulled up over their nose though, or it's under their chin. Or
I
whatever.
have seen a lot of that. In like the
And then
workers.
touching everything, and then they touch their mask.
God love them.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I'm more power to them working through all this.
Yeah.
But most of them's got their mask underneath their chin.
They don't want to wear them.
Well, I can't. Honestly,
I mean-
masks are. It's hard for me to breathe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's my claustrophobia.
Same. I can't wear them
It's
either.
weird. I can only wear.
I had to
for a
wear one
short
to
period
go
of
into a
time.
doctor's office, and I took it down as soon as I got into the room because I couldn't even talk to her without, you know what I mean?
It's just something. I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm excited. Probably the casino is going to be one of the last things that will open, of course. So I'll just go buy some scratch offs.
I miss my sports.
Yeah.
It's my sports. It's my entertainment.
Yeah.
I miss some
Baseball.
baseball.
Opening day.
You
that was
know.
crazy.
We'll get any baseball this year.
No, probably not.
football, but that's still a whiles away. Maybe some racing. Hopefully they get back to racing.
Miss March Madness basketball.
Yeah.
It's crazy how things change so quick, so fast, and so much.
Yeah.
So what our episode is, and I know pretty much, well, they said the Nielsen rating for this show on Netflix was watched by 34.3 million people over its first 10 days of release, ranking as one of Netflix's most successful releases to date.
Yeah, we were definitely one of those.
No,
34
not
million
in the
probably.
first 10 days. We let
Yeah,
it go.
I waited for a while.
We
Was
let
it
it
a
go
while?
for a while. I finally got so curious with all the memes that I was like, okay, we got to see.
That's what started it.
So the Tiger
what this
King
is
is
all
what we're
about.
talking about.
The memes.
We had to do one. We had to do one on the Tiger King.
I mean, I couldn't watch it. I mean, started watching a couple episodes, but I just couldn't watch the way they treated those tigers and stuff. I mean,
The
to
only,
me,
yeah.
you know, they're wild animals. They should be out wild and free. And,
Yeah.
And there's more tigers in captivity than there are in the wild.
Well, the issue is they kill them too out in the wild. A
Yeah,
lot.
I
I think they
understand
should
all
be
that.
on like reservations, like of thousands of miles, like protected
some of
land.
them are, but
They need more of them on
understand
those
that,
types of
but
places.
the way they were dealing with them. you
Well,
Yeah.
and the thing
know,
is,
the way
it's
they treated them and the what they
Yeah.
fed them and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just
that
need
was
to crack
crazy.
down on the people hunting them. I mean,
so
I
if
don't
you
know.
if you haven't seen it and you plan on watching it, then don't listen any further because we'll be doing spoiler alerts all over the place. But so what actually he started out? He actually Joe Exotic, who owns this what do you call it, like sanctuary?
Yeah.
I guess
The big cat.
for the big cat rescue. And he started out, I think, on the up and up. I think he really did care and wanted to help the cats, but then the money started coming in. He found out that he could make a lot of money, especially with the young ones.
Yeah.
You know, people would pay big money to have pictures taken
Yeah,
with them, and
It was the GW Zoo.
yeah. So
I can't remember what GW means. It's driving me nuts right now.
Wynnywood was the town, wasn't it?
That sounds so funny. What was it called?
Wasn't it Wynwood?
Wynwood?
The name
Yeah,
of the zoo?
Wynwood,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Wynnywood. What the It's been a minute since I've watched this.
Well,
It's been a minute since
should we tell
watched
him
it.
what happened? Should we say? Yeah. Hell, why
Yeah,
not?
we already recorded this.
We did.
once.
We
And it
did.
didn't record, so.
And then all hell broke
This
loose,
is-
and
this
we
is
weren't
take
able.
two.
Yeah, this is take two. So take one.
Weren't we in the? That was when we were in that tornado,
Yeah.
and that threw
It got bad
everything
here.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys did. I think we talked about that in the Lost recording about
Yeah,
how we
we
drove
did.
through the tornado.
We definitely drove through a freaking tornado.
Yeah. So bring you guys up to speed on that.
We had a ferret in the car.
Yep, through the
That's how
ferret
bad it
pillow
was.
Case, dogs in the van.
But yeah, it got a little crazy. And then after that, we planned on redoing what we had lost. But then all hell broke loose on other things, and we're just now back to it. So we got our little notes here. We're ready to go.
Got our new mics.
Got our new mics, so
Yeah.
hopefully we sound a little bit clearer.
Yeah. So back to it.
But yeah, I believe there is on Netflix there was like 7 episodes. Was it 7 or 8?
I think
There's
there's
8.
an interview,
There's 8 now.
including that being
Yeah.
the 8th one.
And then Nancy Grace did a follow up with some new information. Now I did watch the first one of that, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But I didn't get to watch the second one. So if you have watched it and you did not watch the new episode that just came out, not even a month ago,
Yeah.
and then the Nancy Grace stuff, that's something else that you can go back and watch. But
Yeah, she gets really into it too, man.
right. So my hardest thing with watching this, I have a hard time watching like movies. If I see a movie and there's a dog in it, the first thing I say or I think is that dog better survive this
I
whole
know.
movie.
I know.
Because if that dog dies,
And they always do something to the dogs, man. It's
I know.
like, stop it.
And I get like anxiety about it.
I know.
So I was really nervous about watching this, but I was the same way when I seen all the memes and people talking about it. Of course, you want to see what all the hype's about. So I started watching it. There's a lot of characters in this thing, man. A lot of characters. And if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about.
Some characters, all right.
But,
who was the man who started recording the documentary after they found Joe Exotic's online show? Because that's where it all started.
Rick Kirkman?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, if you look past the cats and, what was going on to them, this show is just so oddly entertaining because of him. You know what I mean? You're like, what is this motherfucker gonna say next?
Like, what is your agenda?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the cats and everything that bothered me, but at the same time, I was like, this guy is fucked up.
He's not right.
Yeah, but I couldn't stop watching. You know what I mean? I was drawn in, and I had to see what he was gonna do next. I mean.
So whenever you watch like anything, there's usually like a villain. Well, the villain, that was kind of weird. He was moving the mic toward me. I'm like, what are you doing? The villain that Joe. I looked at Joe as the kind of the villain, especially when what he would do is as soon as one of the tigers would have, babies, he would take them from them right away. And that bothered me a lot.
Yeah,
Out
me
of
too.
Everything, that's one of the things that really bothered me. But Carol Baskin, she is
that bitch.
She is the owner of Big Cat Rescue, and she was also one of Joe's rivals.
Yeah, Joe Exotic, man, he hated her.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that he said, because she wanted him shut down.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really because of, her saying that. I think it all had to do with money.
Yeah.
He was taking money, She was doing, like, some of the same things that he was doing.
Right. He did cub petting. She was charging for entry and everything.
Right.
She just didn't pay her workers. They were all volunteers.
Yeah.
And he paid his workers and living there pretty much. And he fed them and some weird stuff,
Yeah,
some meat truck food.
Yeah, spoiled, like, meat truck food.
Paid them like $125 a week, basically to where they couldn't leave. Obviously, you can't survive on $125 a week.
Yeah. But all the workers, and there was some that they actually were there for the cats.
Yeah.
They said that they stayed there because of the cats.
Eric Cowie was one of them. He was the head keeper of the zoo. Mm-hmm. The one with the long blonde hair. He was a really good guy. He really, really wanted to make sure they were taken care of.
Right.
He still works there, don't he?
Yeah.
So the one thing with Joe Exotics, so that's how he made money, by bringing people in to look at the cats. And actually, not that I agree with keeping that kind of animal in a cage now.
That many.
Yeah.
He had hundreds.
And if they're doing it to get them ready to go back out into the wild or whatever, I'm all for that, for rehabilitation of them, but to make money off of them, it was really kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, it was.
But it sounds so bad for me to say it, but I thought his place looked a lot better than Carol Baskin's place.
Yeah, but at first I feel like they were trying to make it look good. If you notice, like towards the end, they really start showing you all the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They hit a lot.
Yeah.
I think
Fake news
everybody
at
in
its
that
finest.
everybody in that business started out with somewhat good intentions and love for the animals.
Me
but
too.
The money just got to them, and I don't know. It was hard. I don't know, because like the money they would make off the cats, but then how much money it also costs to take care of those cats and feed those cats.
Right.
And all them cats,
Joe was trying to breed a tiger that was extinct. That's why he ended up not being able to feed them, because he just kept breeding and breeding and breeding. What was it? The saber-toothed tiger?
Yeah, it was a saber-tooth.
He was even though it couldn't be done, he just kept trying to make them bigger and bigger and bigger, and then there was eventually hundreds of them, to the point where there was no possible way for him to care for all of them.
Right.
Financially,
Well,
especially.
he spent a lot of money on his show and attacking that Carol Baskin, and I don't know, he spent a lot of his money on stupid stuff too. So that's where I think
And I think
because if you see like Doc Antle's place, I got my feelings about him too, but I mean his facility was probably the nicest out of all of them.
It was very nice.
You know what I mean? And his tigers were fat, well fed, big motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So they were fed good.
And
because they were big cats.
Right. I think at the beginning I said that Joe Exotic's place was called the Big Cat Rescue. That was wrong. His was like you said, GW Exotic Animal Park, and Carol Baskin's was the Big Cat Rescue.
Yeah.
So I did say that wrong. But and the other thing that you found out later through the series is when he would do like the filming with the cats, they were either tranquilized.
Yeah.
One I believe was blind.
Yeah. And you can kind of tell.
With the cubs,
The big
too,
white cat in the videos
Yeah.
were blind. Yeah.
And see, I just don't agree. Just don't.
And they didn't show you all that in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what they
He
showed
was definitely
you.
not Steve or,
Yeah, no.
Oh no, God no.
No. New.
No, I mean honestly, I think he was a fake. Really, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the beginning, because like I seen videos of him when he was really young too, and like had first opened up and he was sober. He looked like he really was a good person. He did. He looked healthy. Like he looked like he wasn't like bad like he was throughout the whole documentary. Mm-hmm. He looked like he wanted more at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think drugs had a lot to do with it. And then him getting involved with Travis. Travis got married to Joe Exotic. Wasn't that his first husband? Or was that his second
He's
husband?
his second husband. That's the one that killed himself.
Who was his first husband?
John.
John. Yeah. So, yeah, he met him. John met Joe about a month after high school, so he was pretty young, and that's what he did. He brought these younger, guys in, and I mean, really, if you look at Joe Exotic, he is exotic. I mean, there's nothing. Gun likes to blow stuff up.
Big cowboy hat, freaking.
Oh no! So they got some of the memes now with him next to Dog, the bounty hunter. They're like they got like cat under him and then dog underneath the picture of dog.
That's a good one.
Those ones are funny. Yeah, you definitely. You guys got to go on our Facebook and share some of your favorite memes on there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm pretty much here for, is the memes.
But Joe, he fell in love with John, but I think he more or less kind of exploited him. He really wasn't gay. He found that out in the long run, and we'll probably tell you a little bit more about that. But he put a lot of money into him. Like, he fed him drugs and shit to keep him around. Yeah. And I know that he admitted to him doing it. Joe didn't, but John did.
Right. And then and Travis, when he came in, he was young too. Mm-hmm. So they had a 3-way ceremony and married. And yeah, that was crazy. But Travis was addicted to meth. And there's a tragedy there with him also. But John found out that, like you said, well, I don't think Travis was gay either. I don't think either one of them was gay. I think it was just the lure of the tigers.
And they wanted the drugs.
Him and the drugs.
John admitted to wanting the drugs. He was like,
Right.
it was the drugs. He was
Right.
like, I wanted the drugs.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was kind of I'll tell you what, man, there is just so much to this series. It's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, but honestly, the majority of the people who probably are going to listen to this, sorry, I keep smacking my papers. The majority of the people that are going to listen to this, though, probably have already seen this.
So you're going to, yeah. And really, yeah, I mean, we're just talking about what our feelings were when watching it. And there was like a couple of,
oh, man.
What the hell did I just watch?
Like when Carol had her husband in that lion suit with their wedding photo
Her
shoot.
new husband.
Yeah.
Collar on.
What the hell?
Oh, my gosh.
Ugh.
I mean, she's probably going to try to sue us now, but...
Oh, don't do it.
Talking smack about her, but... Oh, man.
She was kind of
odd.
a Fruit Loop. Yeah.
Deranged.
Really, Joe got brave after Kurt came around and shit, and he started pushing towards Carol online. I think that's what that all stemmed from.
Well, and two, the thing is, Carol wanted him shut down completely. She did everything in her power. I mean, when he would have like shows, she would find out where it was, and she would have them cancel it. She would tell them all kinds of stuff about him, and then have them cancel it.
She was big with the ASPCA, right?
Yeah, but then he started doing shows with her logo, acting like it was them and it was him instead. So
he was getting lots of hits on the internet.
Yeah, he was stealing.
No, that was his traveling show, like his cub petting and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he made cards and everything.
It was really hard because I mean, some of the shit on the show, it was just so hard to watch, like not to stop watching.
I know,
like you couldn't stop watching it. You're just like.
I mean, and the things that he would do, like he would do these videos of him. They had like a blow up doll of her,
a sex doll.
Yeah, and it actually kind of did look like her.
Like
and they would
Carol
blow
would
it
wear
up
crowns with flowers on them and shit. So they put like one on the blow up doll and like put her flowery outfit on, like she would wear. And sat her
cool
there.
Cats and kittens.
And then he did a video with somebody that looked exactly like her.
Just like
I was like, how did he get her to do that at first? Thinking that it was really her because it did.
Yeah. Well,
I remember I had to pause it. I was like, wait a second. Let's look at this really quick. I was like, oh, that's not her.
Yeah.
She looks like her sister though.
Yeah, she
was feeding fake human body parts to the tigers, wasn't she?
Well, that's
Well,
the
see,
video.
the thing is there is relevance to this, to what, we normally do our podcast on, because there was an unsolved murder in all of this, and really that's what this whole show's about.
The whole damn thing's strange, to be honest
about
with
her
you.
killing her husband, Don Lewis, going missing.
Well, it's rumored.
And then her becoming a millionaire.
Yeah.
And owning the big cat rescue after
It's rumored, too, that she had killed or been involved in the disappearance of her ex-husband and multi-millionaire Don Lewis. And man, let me tell you what, Joe went off on that.
I know, man.
I mean, he just went off on that.
I mean, the whole thing's shady. He found her crying on the street after a fight with her first husband, picked her up, took her to a hotel. They kind of became inseparable. She left her first husband for him.
Well, his ex-wife on there.
He was still married, so he got a divorce to his wife that he had children with and got with her. Yeah. And he was into exotic animals. She didn't even have a passion for it. It was him who started it off for her.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you guys know when you watch it, how she's all against breeding and cub petting and all that. Well, that's what she started doing.
Yeah,
she ran a business selling them and feeding them and doing training videos on how to raise them.
I think that she had a problem with Joe being, because he was starting to get big and everybody knew who he was. And I think that was an issue for her.
Yeah.
And she was doing everything that she could to...
There's
keep them from excelling.
I don't know. You guys might not watch it. I don't really watch it that much, but actually, there's a show called Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
and there's
I've
this
seen
guy
a little
Bubbles that likes cats or whatever. Well, they actually did a shot and a scene at her place before this ever came out.
Oh, I didn't know
of
that.
like Bubbles like feeding a tiger, and he's like, "Oh shit, feeding a
of
tiger."
course she'll do that though, even though you're not allowed to.
And
do
that was,
it.
I think, before the Tiger King stuff ever came out. Like, you know what I mean? They just like let them go in there and shoot a video and shit.
Yeah.
And, like feeding it with a stick.
But nobody's allowed to do it.
And then it like took the stick from him, and I don't know.
The one thing that I didn't like at her place, at the Big Cat Rescue at Carol Baskin's place, was how I don't know what they called it something. I can't remember what
those
it
little
was.
feeding things.
Yeah, that they stick their head in.
It was like a smaller square, and it
In the
came out of the
cage.
big block or whatever.
Well, they would
For
stick.
them to
Yeah,
stick
they
their whole freaking head
to
into.
eat, and I don't.
Well, I mean, that
understand
right there is, number one to them.
And
You know what I
all
mean?
of
They
her-
get their food by hunting it,
Yeah.
chasing it
All
down,
of her
killing it.
containment's so small
You know what I mean?
too. They
Not
don't have
out of a
very much
bowl
room.
like a-
they had
like a
these little
dog.
small cages. They didn't even have like big open areas to run around
Yeah,
at her location.
yeah, but
Yeah, weeds all grown up.
Yeah.
In it. But I mean, I
That's
don't
how
know.
they live too, though.
But at Joe Exotics, I mean, his place was, it looked like a meth shack with fucking 100 tigers on the
I'd have to
property.
say Doc's was
Towards
the
the
best.
end. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Location.
toward the I think
Cleanliness
it's
tigers
wise.
looked the best.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all clean looking and
And
stuff,
healthy.
but supposedly he killed a lot of them too. So
When they
I don't
got
know.
too
I think
big.
they're all pieces of shit. But
Yeah.
So out of the workers that worked with Joe, there was Eric Cowie. He looked like somebody we would have hung out with in the 80s.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he really, and they've asked him in a couple interviews, why did you stay so long, especially when you knew, because there's more to what we find out later what Joe was really doing with some of the cats. Why he stayed, and he said, I stayed because of the cats.
Yeah.
I care about the cats. I wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. The other one was Saf, who I guess he got his arm bitten off, stuck his arm in the cage, and when he went to the hospital, they said, we can try to save the arm, but you're going to have like multiple surgeries. And he knew that Joe would have to pay for that.
And it would bankrupt him.
And it would bankrupt him. And then he, was worried about what would happen with the cats. So he had his arm amputated.
Like a boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just
and then went
left.
back to work.
Went
and
right
then
back.
went back to
Like,
work.
Within a week.
Yeah, within 7
'Cause
days.
he said he knew that the
Publicity.
would negatively affect Joe and everything, and
Right.
he wanted to keep the heat off as much as possible.
Right. So, there were people there that really cared for the cats, the animals that were there. But I did watch the Nancy Grace, and through the Netflix thing, Saf was pretty much kind of pro Joe Exotic, and on the Nancy Grace thing, he is not, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot has come out since then.
I haven't watched the Nancy Grace one, but I've watched her, so I can only imagine. I did see a little bit of like a preview of her talking about it, and she does not like Carol.
Well, if you notice, a lot of that footage from the Netflix was, while a lot of them were still there, I think, or not long after they had left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she may have still been working there and had to be careful what she said.
Yeah.
What he said in some of that footage.
Yeah, because
True.
who was refresh my memory here. So let's talk about Doc a little bit. And I know you really, he was the one that owned the other one Was it Doc?
He was the one. Yeah, Doc was the one who trained. Are you talking about the monkey guy? The one who had the monkeys too that Cody liked?
Yeah.
That wasn't Doc. Who was that?
Antle?
No,
That's not him?
No, he's the one who trained like Britney Spears' Tiger for
That's who.
her
Oh, I
music
thought that's who
video.
you were talking about.
No.
The one that was riding the elephant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
No, that's
No,
not
it's
Doc.
not him.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not?
Wait, yes, Doc rode an
No.
elephant.
No. Well, yeah, but no. I'm talking about
The one who helped with the
the
construction.
one that started helping Jeff Lowe at the end.
Yeah.
Oh.
That always had the monkey on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Real, like, in your face. Like, he was the only one that I felt genuinely, like, cared somewhat about the animals because...
So, yeah, we'll get to that guy that we were talking about before here in a
His
minute.
name's Lewis, though.
Lewis. We'll get to Lewis later. Sorry, I thought that was funny. So, in comes character, well, he was kind of in the beginning, to Doc Antle, who I believe, if I'm not wrong, Joe Exotic kind of looked at him as a mentor.
He did, yes.
And this guy has done... he also owns... He's a founder and director of the Institute of Greatly Endangered and Rare Species, and owns the Myrtle Beach Safari in South Carolina. He's worked with like Britney Spears, with the snake, I believe, in one of her videos.
Michael Jackson too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And a tiger, too.
And a tiger.
Shaq did Shaq?
He's
A lot of Hollywood.
He's done a lot of
Shy
Hollywood
Tiger or
movies, like
Yeah.
trained
Yeah.
for tigers and movies and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
what was that movie? Bachelor. What was that one? They were in Vegas and Mike Tyson had a tiger.
Oh,
The Hangover.
yeah, The Hangover.
Yeah, Hangover.
This Ansel also, his workers pretty much work for free. They're all women. They're all scantily clad. He's created like a cult-like lifestyle, and they work like dogs.
Yeah, he recruits
from
them when
around
they're
the
like
clock.
16 years old too.
Yeah.
He picks their outfits. He tells them what they're gonna wear, what they're gonna do. The tigers eat better than them, from what they've said.
Which I'm all for that.
12-hour days, or morning to night.
Right.
Let's talk more about the scantily clad clothes.
Well, if you would have watched it, you would have seen it.
I might go back and watch that.
There you go.
Like
I
freaking
think it's episode 5.
spandex, freaking cattails,
But I think wasn't he?
titties popping out.
Wasn't
Hot
he?
girls?
Pretty hot.
Yeah, they were pretty. Wasn't he involved with like 2 or 3 of them at one time?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he
Or
was.
all of
He
them?
had
Pretty much
like
all of
one,
them, I'm
but
sure.
but when that other one got
No, he
older-
had like 3 wives.
Yeah, but he had this one that was his main. The girl with the dark hair was his main.
Yeah, the main
Yeah,
chick.
but he still was involved with all of them, and she was too.
But when you see Doc, and if you've seen Doc,
What a lifestyle!
it's like, why?
I know. Well, when
Unless
he was
it's for the
younger,
animals.
when he was younger, he wasn't that bad from the pictures I had seen.
Yeah, but
I know.
that was then. This is now.
I know.
And it's like you're working around the clock for like nothing, and you're taking orders called like,
I know.
Whatever. I don't know. Pretty weird. There's some weird characters, and then we got Mario. He only was in. He only had a brief appearance. I don't think he probably wanted to be on TV very much. He was the most notorious drug kingpins in Miami in the 1980s, and is believed to be the prototype of Al Pacino's Scarface. So yeah, he was kind of funny though. But
He was funny.
he was once convicted for over 100 years in prison, but he got out in 12 years by serving as an informant for law authorities.
He had a cocaine empire.
Yeah. And I believe right now he runs and serves as director of Zoology Wildlife Foundation in Miami. So that's
Doing pretty well for himself
yeah.
still.
So that's another.
They
Sure,
probably
sure.
let him keep half his money.
Sure, he probably had a lot more
Yeah.
buried.
Probably.
So toward I believe like the later episodes, you start seeing Joe come into financial hardship because of the fact that Carol was suing him left and right. I mean, everything from
Yeah, man, some of that.
She sued his parents, too.
Some of that
Yeah.
he just
His
brought
parents,
on
they
himself.
lost everything.
He did bring it on himself. I mean, you are putting out on the internet
You shooting her.
you shooting a thing and
Calling
saying
her
who
Carol.
it is.
Tying it to shit and
Well,
putting
not
bombs
only that,
on
I
it.
mean, he was literally stealing their logos.
Well, he was
and
stealing
shit.
their
You
logos.
can't steal someone else's logo and start saying that
He
it's
would go there
it's
and
yours.
protest. He would bring people there to, like,
Yeah.
and that he would hold up, like, dead stuff, like, and cover himself in blood, like she kills tigers.
Yeah, that
Remember
was-
that?
Yeah, he did do. He did.
See,
do
that's
that.
what I mean. There's so much to this. It's like, oh.
Well,
my
and
God,
everything
forgot
I
did
think he
that.
brought on himself. I mean, you kind of look at him like, okay, so I have to bring this up. So the first time I seen him sing, I'm like, and if you've heard him talk and then you hear him sing, you're like, no way.
I know. That's
That
what I
is
said.
not him.
As soon as
And
we saw it.
Come to find out, no, that wasn't him. Absolutely not.
I think you thought it was him, and I was like, there's no freaking way that's him.
Yeah, it just was not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he made much money off his records and stuff like that.
Well, I think there was a couple times you actually did hear his voice, and you were like, "What?"
Like at the funeral.
Oh yeah, he did. Sing
He sang at the funeral.
I still don't think that was him.
You don't?
Because no, I really don't think that was really him.
I think they said something about him lip singing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
that
they
was
did.
him. Because it was just too good, and I
But the
just don't
funeral,
think
yeah.
this poor guy could carry a tune.
If that was my child and that man started singing, I probably would have freaking
Well,
whacked him
yeah.
upside the head with the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Or the child's funeral wouldn't have been there.
So, yeah. So in comes to save the day, Jeff Lowe.
Save the zoo.
Save the day, save the zoo. So he, this is the second half of the Tiger King, and he's more or less what they call an angel investor, and he plays a crucial role in the ultimate fall of Joe Exotic. He pretty much takes over everything, and Joe is kind of blinded by it because all he sees is the dollar signs.
Because he was spending lots of money on Joe, too. He was wooing
Well, he was
him.
running for that. He was running for president
Yeah, well,
on Jeff Lowe's money, on the zoo's
Yeah.
money. It was
Against who? Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in 2016.
yeah. Well, he dropped out of that, and then he started running for governor.
yeah. But Lowe had previously been involved in crimes relating to animal abuse and domestic violence, and he is a convicted felon. So yeah, he was a good character. What was the shirts that he wore?
Affliction.
He had somebody asked him, how many Affliction shirts do you have? He's like, a lot.
Yeah.
Because that's all he wore was Affliction shirts.
And leather jackets. He's like, well, I started wearing leather jackets because the cats.
So he starts bringing in these guys.
Back in my MMA days, we usually beat the guys up that wore Affliction shirts.
Or tap out.
No, tap out was cheap. You could.
You were allowed to
I wore
wear
a couple tap out things. You were.
Well, but you were an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
So.
Just saying. Usually, if you had an Affliction shirt on, you'd probably get your ass kicked. If you spend $75 on a shirt, deserve to get your ass kicked, probably.
Oh, shit. So Jeff Lowe starts bringing in these other characters. Alan Crover, which this poor guy just is.
He's supposed to be an extra hand at the zoo.
No, he's Jeff Lowe's handyman.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be an extra hand at the zoo.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, Joe starts getting mad because he won't listen. You know,
Yeah.
they only listen to Jeff, and they won't listen to Joe. Joe has an issue with it, but Jeff has put so much money. Where did he? I mean, he had these homes and stuff, but he really didn't have money.
Who knows? They didn't really say where it came from.
Or he just wasn't saying where it was coming from and whatever.
He was shady, though, so.
Right. And then, like, you guys were talking about, he hired this guy, Joshua Dial, because he was wanting to run for president.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah, and he got him out of Walmart. He was
ammunition shop.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, I want to run for public office, and I need... And this guy was kind of into that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He knew everything about it.
So he became Joe's campaign manager.
And he decided for Joe what he was. What was it, a libertarian?
Yeah.
He decided for Joe that he was a libertarian because Joe didn't even know.
Yeah. He just wanted to
He was
change
just
the
fuck
world.
government. Fuck the government. That was Joe.
Yeah.
And he almost won, dude. He got 3rd place.
Out of 4.
But still.
No, but not for president. For governor. Yeah.
But that's still, people voted for him. He had like a 19 percentile.
That's really
Scary.
scary. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary as hell.
There's a couple of his views I didn't mind.
But this Joshua kind of got in over his head because he, well, first of all, everybody was upset because once Joe Exotic started going for public office, whether it was president, governor, whatever, the zoo just went really downhill.
Yeah.
From there. And that's really all he cared about. But
yeah, they opened, who was the Sea-Doo guy?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting to him. Yeah. James. Yeah.
James. They opened a pizzeria. Jeff Lowe went to him and asked him to invest in it, so he helped invest in it. And they opened a pizzeria hoping it would bring business. But... ... I'll let somebody else say it.
Yeah, that's disgusting. So when we were talking earlier about how they were feeding, the employees were eating, and what they were feeding the animals, because I'll tell you what, the money that it costs to feed them cats.
Yeah.
So
at that.
So anytime you're at Walmart, Kroger, or big box store like that, I've done this, now I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, I know.
In a way. Because if all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I didn't need that, and it's like meat or something like that, and you hand it to them, well, they can't go and take that and put it back on in the freezer or wherever you got it in the meat department. So all that food goes in the trash, but Joe Exotic, I guess, worked out a deal or something.
Mm-hmm. They have like this, they normally donate it or something.
But, he would take it back. Well, a lot of it was expired, probably been left out, didn't smell real good, I think a few of them got sick, because that's what they would eat. And they would come on this big truck.
Yeah.
And, well, when they opened the pizza, this James and Jeff, when they opened the pizzeria, well, I don't think they realized that Joe was using that
I
meat.
don't think so either.
And I don't think the people eating the pizza didn't know either. So that makes me really freaking nervous.
Yeah, they were using the meat from the truck. It is just like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah. So this poor Joshua Dial, I think he got in over his head. He, didn't know exactly. He was kind of stuck where he was. But he witnessed something horrific. And it was, he's seen Travis, I think John, Joe's first husband, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he had already left.
Yeah,
he ran
moved
off with one of the girl workers, figured, I'm not gay.
Yeah, he got her pregnant.
And they're gone. But Travis stuck with him, and he was pretty bad on his addiction, and he was always with guns, was shooting.
Yeah.
Pointing it. Even this Joshua said.
Joe bought him so many guns.
Joshua's like, don't be pointing that. He pointed it at everybody.
Yeah.
The guns at everybody. And they were in the office. And this actually does show it. When you guys told me this, because I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, I know.
I was kind of shocked. I mean, they didn't.
Well, the camera was like above him.
Yeah.
Like looking at Josh.
You see the flash though. It's
but you see Joshua's face.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's talking and said that Travis What
Looked
exactly?
surprised.
Well, he was like, well, man, you know this, what kind of gun was it?
A Ruger.
A Ruger. He's like, you know, it won't fire without a bullet in the chamber. And he was like,
without a clip in it.
Yeah, without a clip in it, because there was bullets in the chamber, but I guess no clip in it. And he was like, see, look, and he freaking holds it up to his head, and he blew his own brains out.
Right.
On accident. He didn't mean to do it. He was just trying to show him something, and Josh said he could tell that he didn't mean to do it in the last moments that he had.
So yeah, and as you're watching it, you're seeing Joshua like kind of his hands are on his face and he's just staring like this is a joke.
Yeah.
And I guess that's Travis was kind of a jokester and did stuff, you know. But when you actually he stands up and then when you actually see his face when he realizes this was, you know, friggin' joke.
Yeah, because he said his name a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, oh, my God. Dude.
So that was really sad. And that's the funeral that we were talking about before the Joe. And I don't think that was his voice. And I thought it was really cheesy. And if I would have been the mom.
That's what I said.
I probably would have went and punched him right in the face.
Yeah, dude, no way.
And didn't the mom I think we talked about this before.
She worked there. He shot bullets at her on the ground.
Yeah.
And she ran from him.
Oh, I don't know about the lyrics in the song, but man, he was talking about putting his balls on his face and all kinds of shit at the dude's funeral.
He was like, I just loved him so much. He shined my day.
He just loved.
Dropped them big balls on my face. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude,
he said I'd be sitting there working and he'd just bring light to my life. He'd just come over there and plop them balls on my face.
I swear he did that. I think that was one of my what the hell moments. Do I need to rewind that to see if that's really what I heard?
I just couldn't I just stared at it with my mouth open in shock, honestly.
Yeah.
It was bad. I remember I was just like, no way. No, he didn't.
He did. He friggin' did. But and I think he is kind of a good actor. I'm doing quotes in the air.
Yeah.
But I think that did kind of mess him up that he lost, First John to one of his workers, got her pregnant, and then Travis, that tragedy and stuff like that. But
Josh had to get therapy. As far as I know, when we saw the previous interview, he was still getting therapy.
Yeah, I would be too, man.
Over Travis.
We had a friend of ours that something similar happened, 2 friends, and something similar happened. And I know to this day he's that would mess you up, man. Yeah, dude. Especially when you know it was an accident and not meant.
And there's nothing you could have done.
Because when it happened with our 2 friends, I mean, the one that shot himself, he was a jokester anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, a big jokester, all through school and everything, and that was pretty devastating. Yeah. So I can only imagine
witnessing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just no way. But so then after a little bit, Joe meets he's still grieving and this was in 2017, and he meets Dylan Passage. He was a youngie too. He was 22. And I think they ended up getting married, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did.
And this kid's still with him. As far as I know, from what we've seen of interviews on YouTube and stuff, because
the last one he was.
Yeah, they're pushing for Trump to pardon him.
Yeah.
They're trying. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't given up on him. I thought it was all about money, but this kid's still with the guy.
Well, during all this stuff,
sure, he's still got money.
It's just so weird because all the men that he's been with, I mean, are so young, and Travis and his Dylan, they're both very handsome, and it's just like, how did you even get that? You're like 50 years old.
Yeah.
And tigers.
Okay, too much info.
And tigers.
So we were
lions and tigers and balls. Oh my!
Oh fuck!
Oh God! No.
Yeah. No, we forgot to talk about the when Carol Baskin was talking about, because everybody thinks that she fed her husband's body to the tigers because he never got on his plane. He never got to where he was supposed to go. He's supposed to go to Puerto Rico to buy a tiger or sell a tiger or something. Don Lewis, Carol Baskin, just real quick, because we forgot to talk about how they put some cologne on Joe's shoe and that tiger started fucking with him. And then they asked Carol, they're like, what would do that? She's like, oh, I don't know. You rub some sardine oil on anything and, that tiger's going to go to town on it.
Yeah, that was a meme.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? Sardine oil on and they'll just go to town?
She rattled that off real quick.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they had been fighting, and I guess what was his name? Don?
Yeah.
Don was going to his business partner and telling him that she wasn't safe.
Oh yeah, she tried to file a restraining order on him and everything, and then
he was scared for his life over
and forever he was missing. But the day that you're allowed to declare him dead, how many years does it take?
5.
Yeah,
2 days after.
The day she declared him dead, and boom, got all his shit, all his money.
Well,
didn't give nothing to his kids or his ex, nothing to his kids or his family.
Nothing.
She just took it all.
Well, and I think it's
Fucking
an open
drained him
investigation.
dry.
I think they're finding new stuff.
They're investigating.
And
they need to, because that's some crazy shit to
think
just
that's
be
part
let
of
Well,
it.
they dropped his van back off at her house.
Well, the fight
the
was
cops did
he
some
wanted
pretty
to move
dumb
to
shit
Puerto
on that
Rico.
one anyway.
She wanted to stay and open the big cat, and he didn't want to do that because he was breeding them and selling them and stuff like that.
Well, I don't think he wanted to be with her. Period.
No,
she was
and he
crazy.
was trying
She's
to
a crazy
leave,
bitch.
and she told him that she would kill him and all this shit, and he told his business partner about it.
Yeah.
And then he's gone.
Yeah.
And they blew it because they brought the van right back to her house and left it for 5 days before they even touched it to see if anything was there.
And I mean, that's all that's all Joe Exotic almost talked about.
Yeah.
Was her
infatuated.
feeding her husband to the tigers, and I mean, he just blurted it right out. But did you guys feel that her husband now didn't he look kind of frightened through this whole thing, a little nervous?
I mean,
he looks like a little bitch.
He did though, but at the same time, he had millions of dollars too when they met.
Exactly.
So they're fucking. I think they just don't even care. I think they know that they're gonna get every dollar of it back some way somehow.
But what I'm saying is he's gonna make the same fate as.
Oh shit!
I know if he fucks up.
Yeah.
How he's kind of like a puppet, literally chained in a cat suit.
Yeah.
For their fucking wedding photos.
Yeah, that was weird.
Look those up. Those are funny.
Yeah, dude.
Really
Make
funny.
a meme over it.
So this
Oh, there's a ton.
this Alan Glover, and this is who Jeff Lowe ends up hiring. Well, he's not the brightest. Yeah, and I don't want to be mean, but he's really not.
No, he's not.
I mean, he's cool and
Yeah.
everything, but he just wasn't
Do you,
the
buddy?
brightest. But he came to the zoo as a handyman. He was loyal to Jeff, which pissed Joe off, which I didn't kind of understand because I thought that was kind of stupid. He ends up talking to Alan and supposedly pays him $3,000 as a plot for murder on Carol Baskin.
Mm-hmm.
So Alan's like, yeah, he accepts. Well, Jeff Lowe finds out about it, and that's what that fight. He has a fight on film, on camera, with Joe about his plot to murder Carol Baskin.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff's like, I'm a felon, dude. I can't be involved in any of this shit at the zoo because now his name's on the zoo. So that was a big ordeal.
Well, it was the feds were investigating the fact that he didn't get donations to run for governor. He took the money from the zoo. He was taking money from the zoo.
So
that
the
was
feds
Jeff's
were
money.
right. The feds were already
Sniffing around and shit.
So
I think he was writing bad checks too.
Yeah, he was. And then you have to think though, Jeff was the one who, because Joe would not stop talking about wanting to hire someone to kill.
Yeah, and he
Carol.
actually made a video of that.
Yeah, and he pulled up the location of her bike trail and shit so Joe could pinpoint the time to do it. Like, he kind of walked him through it, so I don't think he's very fucking innocent.
Who, Joe?
No, Jeff. Jeff's the one who pulled up the bike trail and got him all into it, really making him want to do it.
Well, because I think Jeff wanted, and this is my opinion, I think Jeff wanted him out of the picture period and wanted the whole zoo because he knows it's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
That's why all these people do it, for the money.
Yeah.
So this Alan dude accepts, heads down to Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he doesn't make it. He ends up going to a strip bar and getting wasted.
And spending all his money.
Yeah. But then this James Garrison, he gets involved in the hire for whatever. Wait a minute.
He was an informant.
Yeah. Well, the feds start breathing down, and I think he had been in trouble with the feds for animal
he was
stuff.
doing animal shit he shouldn't have been, and they caught him doing it. He was like a financial book guy. He was doing some shady shit.
Didn't he have an illegal animal?
Yeah, and they were like, what is that? It was a monkey.
Yeah, it was
or
a
something.
lemur.
A lemur.
A lemur. What is a lemur?
It looks like a little monkey, right? They have arms and legs and stuff.
The
They
tail.
look like monkeys.
They look like little monkeys.
Yeah.
But this dude.
They're like ferret monkeys.
Ferret monkeys.
But he became the FBI's primary informant during the investigation on Joe Exotic. And it eventually led to Joe's arrest. He is in jail right now.
And has been for what, a year?
I think so. Yeah.
About a year.
Yeah, about a year. And, I mean, yeah, he's still saying he's innocent. But the end of this, and I am going to admit, as embarrassing as it is, but it was so friggin' funny,
I know.
was the Sea-Doo. The ending of the Sea-Doo.
Yeah, when he's riding off on the sea.
Like, I didn't even understand
I
the point of it.
But it was so...
Was it like he was the boss and like saved the day? Like, I felt the exact opposite.
Was he the eye of the tiger?
Yeah, that's what was playing.
Yeah, the eye of the tiger. And he's standing up and...
With his shades on.
Yeah.
That sea
And his
is
bald
probably
spot
like,
blowing in the
help
wind."
me,
Yeah.
help me, slow down.
Yeah, it was just really... But I kind of rewinded that and watched it again.
We did. We were laughing pretty hard over it.
But, yeah, it was pretty... And the other thing is, too, which one was in the hot tub?
Alan. The weird dude, Alan. The man, yeah. That was
And they asked
too.
him in an interview, why were you in a hot tub? And he's like, I have no idea.
He's probably fucked up. On
They
something,
were
dude.
interviewing him in the thing.
Jesus.
He's probably still snorting some of Joe Exotic's $3,000.
So, yeah, Joe Exotic is... And I think it's where he belongs. I mean...
I think he needs medical. I think he might need medication. It's like he's split personality.
Well, in the one of the main reasons is because
and I'm not a doctor. Don't
He's-
quote me.
I think he needs to do every bit of time served for them tigers he killed.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons why he isn't. He got convicted of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
He
ones
was
with
shooting
bullet
'em.
wounds in
Yeah.
the skull that they found on this property. Yeah, you need to fucking do your time for that, bud.
Some of them
Yeah.
weren't even
you,
that
you don't
old.
deserve to be pardoned and shit.
Well,
like
once
that.
they got
I
a
mean,
certain age, it was money that he had to feed them, and he just wanted the cubs. So
Yeah.
once they weren't useful to him,
But when you were running from the feds, it was easy to sell a bunch of them. Why couldn't you just fucking sell them?
yeah, it's just and that Saf said on the Nancy Grace thing that he's
well, big full-grown tiger. That's a loss. That's a lot of money to eat. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And if it ain't producing, it ain't making any money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way they look at it.
well, that's exactly the way they look at it. But that's one of the reasons why he
Costing
got
him money.
convicted of that. He is in prison for that also.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that Saf on the Nancy Grace, what I watched of that, he, admitted that there's a lot more tigers on that property than what was said in the documentary.
Yeah, they
that's
said
been
hundreds, 200, over 200.
But
He
that
kept
doc,
breeding them.
Doc Antle, he also has been said that there is a lot of.
Well, he was
that he
charged
killed.
with animal abuse and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like ongoing, so they really can't say much about it. But they were saying that he was cremating them.
You know,
Like
I
that he had
don't.
I think, man, like if you're gonna bring them into the world, like you got the responsibility of seeing them through somehow, some way. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be able to.
It's so. You know, we sit here and we laugh, and there was some funny, but the sad part about the whole thing is the tigers.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're beautiful animals.
Because really,
too.
at the whole time, I was kind of hoping for a happy ending with the Tigers. You know what I mean? But well, I did see that Jeff Lowe and the GW Zoo, that new one they were building at the end, it is supposed to open, but the coronavirus stuff slowed it down.
Well,
so.
let's hope that he does the right thing, which I don't have high hopes on. But
yeah.
you know, I just think it's another way for them to make money. How many did they say? There's more.
Well, yeah, because remember
tigers-
Jeff was sneaking them into hotels
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
limos.
He tried to
and
start a
was getting it. He actually got charged for doing that.
in
Yeah.
Las Vegas. He tried to start a business like a tiger bus where you ride to your hotel with tigers and stuff, and that's how him and his wife would land women to
Yeah.
sleep with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's fucked up, man, and sad for the Tigers.
They hired a nanny and they made sure she was hot so they could have her too.
Yeah, that was in the last episode.
Yeah, they're
wasn't
really
it? Yeah.
interesting people.
But at the end of the day, I don't think there's any kind of strict regulations on any of that.
I think that's being worked
but,
on though, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be. If it's not,
But
there's more tigers in captivity in the United States than there are in the wild,
Yes.
and that's sad.
They should be on reservations with miles and miles of
I
land.
do believe in rehabilitation, but only as if they're going to be set free in their own
Yeah,
habitat.
like the big cat rescue. Okay, once they're back to health, why are they not re-released?
To me, that's
you
not
know what I mean?
a rescue. To
No.
me, that and,
It's a
and
prison.
There may be some animals that could never be released. They're either old, they're injured, they wouldn't survive. I understand that, but and I know these places have to make money somehow.
Yeah.
But do it the right way. There is
Yeah.
a right way to do it. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything like that.
Right, but still.
yeah,
And it was hard to, and we do joke and we laugh because there are some effed up characters on this show.
Man.
And it's real life. It's not really a show. It's real life. But and there was some good people on here that really wanted to see, But I don't know, guys. I'm sure there's going to be more to this story because
Oh, yeah. I don't think Joe's done.
And I want to finish the Nancy Grace things. I didn't get to
What
finish.
did he get sentenced? Like 20 years?
I was
sure
I
we'll
had
have some
that printed
good
out.
feedback in the comments on this one.
I think it was 22 years. Yeah, I think you're
If you
right.
guys keep talking here, I'll let you know.
22.
20,
I'm
22
feeling
years what?
22.
That he was convicted too.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it was 22 years in prison.
Well, that's not just for the murder for hire. That's with this cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
All that.
charges.
I mean, honestly, I think the fucker deserves to do it because they found 5 cats with bullet holes in their head.
Well, I remember him saying he was going to tell everyone everything about everyone since everyone wanted to turn on him.
Yeah. I mean,
So he might
who
flip and he might help him and get out just like the cocaine kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And like I said, I mean,
It's crazy what you do
People
when your
just
life's
need
on
to
the
do
line.
the right thing,
Yeah, I don't see it. I thought I had it written
and they
down.
never
You-
do.
It's
Oh, I
right
do.
here.
Duh.
Yeah, it's the first page.
Yeah. Yep. 22 years. I don't think that's long. I know.
Yeah,
and I was
you're a little
looking.
behind.
Sorry, it's late. I'm old. Feeling old. But
That's the.
I'm sure there is tons of stuff we left out. And if we did,
Sure the
Well, we
trolls-
want you to watch it too. We don't want to walk you through everything.
Sure, the trolls will let us know.
Yeah, guys.
But follow
Be
us on
nice.
Facebook, YouTube.
well, I did make a vow that I'm not going to be nice no more.
Yeah.
So,
So.
but you guys be nice. Come on.
We're on iTunes, Anchor, Buzzsprout, Spotify. You can find us on any of those.
See ya.
Are we done? I'm sad. We haven't done this for a long time. I don't want to leave. Look at everybody looking at me. I'm just kidding.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. All right,
like,
guys.
subscribe, share. Find us on Facebook.
Don't be our next episode.
And have a happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And
yes, happy Mother's Day.
Yep. All right. See ya.
Deranged Nation.
You've been listening to the Deranged Nation podcast. Join us every Wednesday night for a new episode as we bring you true crime, unsolved mysteries, and other deranged stories. This episode was sponsored by Braps MX and ATV Pro Shop. Visit them at brapsmx.pro. Also, visit our host, teresagableman.com, New York Times best-selling paranormal romance author of the Protectors series, available on amazon.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.